We're more than a year away from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, but we're still talking about it because the actors are in other roles and doing promos and interviews for them. And of course, Amy Adams comes to mind. She recently sat down for an interview and talked about how she measures up with the rest of the cast. Of course, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, very statuesque tall people, and she's 5'4", so she felt a little small. But then the idea came up about, well, are maybe Lois Lane and Wonder Woman going to have a bit of a rivalry? I mean, they've both romanced Superman in different mediums, or different canons, rather. And she had a quote which says, "It's exciting to get them to bring on all these characters, and I was really excited that Gal was involved because it was nice to have another girl on set, even if we don't work together a lot, it was nice." And then they talk about the idea of the competition. They always think that if you put in another woman, automatically catfight. No, I think that's a male fantasy thing. I don't think that's reality. But she added, I don't know how it will turn out if we're going to be competition. We're not in this. I can safely say that we're not in real life. She's the coolest girl ever. So Amy Adams, cool girl too. But that brings up the question of, are they gonna have Wonder Woman and Lois Lane kind of be in a competition for Superman's love? Because I really hope they don't.
And this is when you get smacked in the face by like unnecessary romance that's just thrust into things that doesn't need to be there. Lois Lane and Superman, yes, that's established, and that's a trope that I would love to see in this. One of the things that DC has done before is Wonder Woman romancing Batman, which was interesting.
I love that.
It was so good because they were so sassy.
I know. They work so well because they're both so messed up inside.
Yeah. And when you have Batman v Superman, like there's the potential there. So I don't really see why they would have Wonder Woman and Lois Lane fighting like that.
Doesn't it seem like kind of a waste of both of their characters?
It really does.
Because they're both great characters in different ways, and they have different strengths and different character traits, but to waste them on like, he's mine.
Oh, God.
No, the boy is mine.
It's awful.
Sounds like a massive waste of potential.
Yeah, and DC does have great female characters. They just don't know how to handle them at all.
Or their male characters.
Or their or anything.
Or anything.
Yeah. I mean, sorry. I love you, DC.
Well, you know, I do have kind of a love-hate relationship with DC.
Yeah.
In terms of cinematic universe versus maybe I like the animated universe. Or
I
maybe
do.
I like older comic storylines. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's just like, are we just used to having things our way and not accepting whatever alternate universe this is or canon universe? I don't know.
Well, I think with DC is they have, as you said, dominated the animated universe. Like I have loved their animated stories for so long, and I love pretty much pre-New 52 has been one of the best comic writings I've read, growing up. But nowadays it's like, I really, really love Christopher Nolan's Batman. I enjoyed those. Did not really care for the new Superman film. And I have my fears about Batman versus Superman because what initially was going to be a Batman versus Superman film really is turning into Justice League.
Yeah.
And I think bringing in Gal and bringing in Amy and bringing in Jason, possibly Jason, we don't know for sure if we're going to see Aquaman, it's kind of asking for a little too much. And I really, really hope they don't go that tropic cat fight between the two characters because, like you guys said, I would like to actually see a Wonder Woman Batman romance because they are such phenomenal characters.
I love them together, but that's just my ship. You know, I
me
can't
too.
just
I'm with
assume
you.
everyone's with me on that. But we have this old DC Trinity thing of, there's this established relationship between, Superman and Wonder Woman have kind of a brother-sister mutual respect thing going on, but now it's a romance with New 52, and it makes me a little worried they're going to add, because of course we're still in New 52, we're trying to push this, why wouldn't they add New 52 storylines trumping maybe the more classic storylines of Lois and Clark?
Well, I feel like I've been hearing enough with the DC Comics, they're kind of actually going to start rebooting New 52. They're starting to pull a lot of those solicitations off. So we're going to start seeing less and less of New 52, which I think they're trying to pull a Marvel to kind of combine their cinematic universe.
Pull a Marvel. I love
pull
that.
a Marvel. I know. I'm always comparing. My whole job is based on comparing Marvel and DC, and Marvel always wins. Sorry. But I think this is really DC's time to shine and to kind of go different. I know a lot of people are more upset about the darker tones that DC films are going and the more monochromatic color schemes. But I think we have to kind of come into this with an open mind and see what they're going to present. If they really choose to take these strong female characters, which Gal Gadot and Amy Adams are strong females in their own right, I think they can really set the precedent for having some legitimate female superheroes and non-superhero characters in superhero films. So I'm curious to see what DC is going to do, but please just don't make them fight. I don't want to see them like tugging on Superman's cape. We don't need that.
I would walk out of the theater.
I know.
It's funny because
That's a horrible visual.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can see kind of the influence that online media has had on like things that are coming out in big cinema, because if what we're speculating about as the plot for this is coming true, then Batman versus Superman is such a clickbait title, and I'm like, don't want to be disappointed by that. They're like, oh, you won't believe what happens next when Batman gets in a fight with Superman.
Also, like, okay, we're looking at Lois versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman would win in a second, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So please don't do that at all.
Yeah.
It's not a fair fight. I mean, come on. Like, what can a superpowered Amazon do against a regular old human? She's gonna like take some really bad photos of her, like
publish
stepping in gum and publish those in the Daily Planet. That's what we're gonna
It reminds
see.
me of those old, have you been to Super Dickory? And it has like these old covers where Superman's basically like a dick, and there's one where like Wonder Woman has Lois over her head, and then he goes, "Sorry, Lois, I love Wonder Woman now," and like, she looks like she's legit going to like kill her or break her back, Bane style.
Oh, I'm just so happy you referenced Super Dickory. That's one of my favorite sites.
It's the best. How would you like to see Wonder Woman and Lois Lane's relationship play out, if any? Let us know below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe for more.